around the world and across Nigeria. If you just joined us, this is still Enterprise Morning right here on Enterprise Television. Now, let's move to our main conversation for today. In what appears to have been D-Day that came before D-Day, youth in Niger State took to the streets on Monday to protest the widespread economic hardship and soaring inflation in Nigeria ahead of a planned nationwide demonstration starting August 1.
Very true. The protesters marched along the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway in Suleja, Niger State, carrying placards with messages such as "Bring back fuel subsidy," "Enough is enough," and "Stop anti-people policies," and chanting anti-government slogans.
That's true, but despite appeals from state governors and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to cancel the August 1 to 10 protest and warning from law enforcement agencies about potential hijacking by hoodlums and unscrupulous agents.
Yeah, the photo went ahead, and the youths are pressing on with their demonstration, demanding relief from the economic struggles and government policies they say are unbearable.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Communication Commission, NCC, has ordered telecom companies to restore all suspended lines due to non-linking of national identification numbers (NIN) with SIMs.
True, and this directive is aimed at giving consumers more time to complete the verification process, considering the limited time frame.
However, reactivated lines would only be operational for a short period, allowing users to properly link their NIN to their SIM. After this period, lines that remain unverified would likely be suspended again. Our guest today to do justice to this a very important and of course a trendy news reportage from my far left is Adeyemi Oluwatosi, Take It Back a member, and we have Olayinka Ola Daniels, the public affairs commentator, and the Barrister Ufeli. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
And welcome.
Good morning. Thank you.
All right, so there we have it. A long list of trendy but very important things that I feel we should do justice about. Of course, let's start with the protest. The federal government has done more than enough to ensure that this protest, never holds. It's given lots of palliatives, invited lots of CSOs, agencies, and all, and so on and so forth. But of course, Nigerians are still saying they would go for protest. Take It Back a movement is one of the core elements spearheading this. Why haven't you people caved in?
Since the coming of the Tinubu government, the first thing he did was to impose hardship on the people. From the start of fuel subsidy is gone, and that has made the cost of living to rise, inflation, hyperinflation, unprecedentedly has risen, and the people are crying and say that enough is enough. It's not only the poor people are crying, even the rich people are crying. Everything too is crying. So, since that slogan of fuel subsidy is over, cost of living, Gary that's a poor man's food before, it's not a luxury. People can't afford Gary anymore. So, and people say that enough is enough, that they can't take it anymore. So, the people are saying that on August 1st, they want to come out and make sure that they draw the attention of the government to all these issues. Because it seems the only language the government understands is when people take to the street. And since that time, you see that the political class has been fidgeting. They have been wanting to to make sure that the protest doesn't hold. All this emergency palliative that the government were trying to bring up, it can't solve anything. The only thing that can stop this protest is just to accept the demand of the people. And what are the demand? Reduce first subsidy, remove the subsidy, bring it back, and then when you bring it back, everything that to be solved. I think electricity tariff, reduce it. Now you observe that schools now are now increasing school fees. So which means that we are taking education out of the reach of the poor children. So what do you What is the hope of the common man?
All right. So when we talk about the hope of the common man, barrister, I wouldn't know at this point because lots of things is changing. When it was at the point of campaigning for removal of subsidy, were you one of those that really campaigned for removal of subsidy?
Well, for removal of subsidy was what some of us had clamored for.
You clamored for it?
Yes, we asked for it. Okay. We campaigned for it. Because the truth is, you can't have a few people living on millions of Nigerians. And that was what was happening. People that had no business with oil, whatever, they use portfolio to cash out on Nigerians. Mm-hmm. So it was a scam. It's been a scam for a long time.
Okay.
However, I think before I go to my however, I think there's some things we need to clear. President Tinubu's administration didn't start this mess. We need to get that clear.
Okay.
Yeah. But I will say, maybe you're expecting me to say something different from what I want to say. But I will say it made it worse.
Okay.
The administration made it worse by that 3 words. You are coming in as a president on the day of your inauguration, and you made 3 words clear to the people. Subsidy is gone. That was not the first thing to say, sir.
But you clamored for it.
We clamored for it, but not the way to go. See, now you may want to put up, act or bring up a solution to something. Sometimes the presentation matters. 2, the implementation is key. You came in. Yes, we all know subsidy is gone. You know the people you are dealing with. There are some people in this country, they are bent on seeing that nothing works because of their own personal gains. We have them. And federal government cannot tell me that they don't know these people. It's just that they don't have the willpower because everybody's playing politics with everything.
So President Barr Tinubu does not have the willpower. That's what you're
saying. I don't say it because I'm highly disappointed, I must say that, because I expected that you should have the willpower. I expected former President Barr to do that. He did not. So who is going to do it? No government will tell me that they do not. Is anybody, any individual bigger than any government in any nation? You cannot tell me that you don't know the people, the greedy, wicked people that are bent on seeing that nothing works in this country for their own personal gain. Now, when I say, however,
sorry to cut you short. You made a strategic comment. You made a profound comment when you said there are people that are cashing out that don't have any business to do with the oil, and they're cashing out. And that was why you clamored for the subsidy to be removed.
Very well.
At this point, have they been crushed?
Thank you. That is where the willpower came in. And that was the error, because, you see, when you have people that live on wickedness, I can tell you that these people are 10 times smarter than you. Because when you want to take a step, they are gone far. And that is the reason why you don't give your enemy your arsenals. That was the reason why we are saying that movement was wrong. That statement he made was not warranted. Not on that day. What he should have done, we all know subsidy will go. Come into the office. Put your economic team together. People, subsidy will go. But how do we go about it? How do we implement this? It has to be step after the other. You never have policies in place. You don't know how to cushion, or you know that if that happens, it will affect a lot of things. What did you put in place to avoid the aftermath of subsidy, being lifted? You didn't prepare for it. You want to bring down a building and you say I want to put a structure on this, and you don't even have money to put up that structure yet. You don't have any resources to put up that structure. Then what you do now is to bring down the one that is there.
All right. So while we talk about bringing down, what is created, over the years by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Barrister Ufeli, I'd love you to speak to us about the psychology of a people. There we have it with our reportage. The protest that was supposed to be for first is already ongoing in Niger State and other parts of the country. But while that is still being, monitored, we have a say no to protest in Abuja already. What do you think is the makeup of a people who know that this is a problem they have, but consciously are working against it?
Well, Nigerians like to distort themselves. Most of the people, like I passed through my neighborhood this morning, hear people praying, shouting. Many of them are praying against their vision. Okay, and what you have in Abuja, not only in Abuja, in Lagos, the government have done so much that's expended a lot of energy, knowing her people. Okay, it has gone on the ground to make sure that enough persons have been bought over. Lagos State government spent so much money organizing the youths, called them for a meeting. And after the meeting, all the groups came out and said they are not interested in protest, that Lagos is a smooth running state, that does not affect it, that Nigeria is okay. After they have given them money, okay? The society, the Nigeria as a state, during election is the same thing they do. What they just did now, the same thing they do during election. They need to call them and give them money. And then they will go and soil their future. Okay. Tinubu is a product of corruption.
Tinubu is a product of corruption.
Yeah, you can put that in the headline if you like. I said it. It's a product of corruption. How did he claim power? He claimed power because the citizens were largely compromised. Even INEC was compromised. Okay, the IRF didn't work at the time the election was ongoing. What was that? Technical claims of corruption. It's a product of corruption. So I don't know why we expect so much from him.
So you question his legitimacy?
Yes, I question it because, let me tell you, the truth is that this August 1st protest is too far. It's too far. And that's why we're giving room for all this, for government to come and, the government's already truncating the protest before it even starts. Because what they are doing now is to make sure that they poison enough minds against the protest, so that when the protest commences, there will be a handful of people who will be against it and who will show belligerence against the smooth running process of the general protest that is coming. But the truth is that those who are dissatisfied, okay, are overwhelming. That is one thing this crop of people don't know. Those who are dissatisfied are overwhelming. And when you have a huge population of those who are dissatisfied, they have a way of overrunning those who feel the country is in order. Nothing is in order in this country. Nothing is in order. And the earlier we address it, the better. You see, this our approach of, yes, let's give them more time. The APC government, I said, let's give them more time. Give you more time to do what after 1 year? They don't need time any longer. What they need is for the people to assemble and make their demands, for the people to protest.
Peacefully.
And, yes, peacefully. And disgrace the government. Because Tinubu have no strategy. He has no strategy whatsoever. He just came in, didn't know what to say, didn't know what to do. Nobody had prepped him. He has never been president before. Couldn't have become a good president by his approach, his arrogance. So he did exactly what he understood was the right thing, which was the wrong thing. And Nigeria was always going to get to this spot when we bypass democracy through corruption and produce an entity that will take us to the doldrum.
Coming over to you, Barrister Laika, I once asked you, you made a strategic comment, said the president still needs time. That's what you said. And you said this current administration and the hurdles they are facing is not from him. it has been existent before now. And I emphasize on the fact that he is from the same party that was the sitting president before now. And that's been 8 years. If you should add the extra 1 year, that's 9 years. So at this point, with the current huddle and the Nigerians coming out to protest, and to me, it's turning into an anarchy already, looking at what is happening, the counter-protest and everything. Isn't the president supposed to come address Nigerians at this point? Or is it too early for him to come out to address Nigerians?
Well, like I said, you may not have Mr. President coming at every point in time to address Nigeria. At least he just did one recently, June 12, address. And but what I said, he has his lieutenants, he has the soldiers, the ministers, the director, who gave the order or the instructions for telecommunications to bar people's phone lines. Who gave such order at this crucial time?
And you think it's politically motivated?
Well, I don't even want to go the route of political motivation, but I want to talk about IQ of some of our leaders, the way they reason. The so-called leaders, because I sit sometimes with some of these people at meetings and I hear what comes from their mouth, and I look at them and I say, okay, this is the reason why the country is like this. Because of the way some of them think, the same way they reason, they are so arrogant. They are so proud. And they don't see it as a privilege. Whatever the office, whatever the position they find themselves, they see it as their right, their birthright. And so they make decisions. At this crucial time, and I ask, do you know that this protest could actually start from that telecommunication outfit nationwide? And no one is thinking, you think this is the time to do that? That is one of the lieutenants. The same way we have several of the lieutenants with somersaulting policies, anti-people policies. Yes, Mr. President, you want to tell me you are not aware? I disagree, because anytime people talk and they tell me, yes, Mr. President may not be aware, you are the leader, I will come for you. I'm not going to go for your lieutenant, because if it's good, I'll still come for you. I'm not still going to go for the lieutenant. So here we are. But I expect that the lieutenant will help this man. Then the other man on social media was blabbing, saying things that will even ignite. No! You're dealing with youth. We had one just recently, few years ago, and we know the result of that. And these people are saying it's a fundamental right of everyone to gather together. They have every right to protest. Now the question is, in Nigeria of today, when we talk about protest, do we really know how to protest?
Is there a how to protest?
Thank you. By the grace of God, I've been leaders in different outfits. And let me take it back to school. I have led protests. And there was no record at any time that all the protests I led, there was vandalization or whatever. No. But what we achieved, all we went for. We got all we went for. In fact, there was a time, I went to University of Lagos, there was a time we had our protest and they blocked Yaba. When I heard from school, I ran to Yaba, remove all the tires they were burning. I said, no, I will not be part of this. Is not what we are asking for. What are you doing in Yaba? Our problem is that Unilag, Akoka. Why are you coming to disturb the public with, no, let's go back to the cause. Look, there are strategies. We know some people are there to hijack protest. We know some people are not part of you. They don't have the same ideology as that you share. So what strategy did you put in place to defend your cause? To make sure that those people don't. You saw what happened at NSAS. NSAS was a script. In fact, all that happened in NSAS was already said before it happened. How some people, some things we cannot say on here, because I had privileged information, how some people were going to come in to disrupt it. And the military or whatever, the police will use that to come in to say, no, it is been hijacked. Now, what effort did you make? Did you think ahead? Did you think inside the box? Because when we talk about, we have seen countries, nations, they have protested and they never destroy anything and they achieve their goal. We have seen it. But how come here we have some scrupulous people, the politicians, whatever, once they see that you want to, they will come out of you, they will bribe, they will bring money, they will deceive you. These same people are youths. The youths that are fighting for a cause, the youths that are coming to disrupt, they are same youths. So we appeal to them. So there's a lot about protests that if you don't, particularly when you have a faceless protest, when people are not owning up and you don't have leadership to manage it, and you have more than, too many groups saying they are this, you would surely get that.
Yes. So, just before I ask him, I would love to ask Adeyemi, because what a barrister did say virtually connects to who the Take It Back movement is and what they are about. You are a protester yourself. At the time Barrister was doing his SUG thing, I could believe it's decades ago, of course. Now you are doing it in the now. How would you make it sympathical to what it used to be during the days when protests were peaceful, coming for August the 1st?
You know, as a government, you have been having a lot of protests in this country. And this is what we are fully determined for. We are fully determined for a revolution. And what are this revolution? To change, the total change of the system.
A total change of the system?
Yes, a total change of the system. Because over the years, the political class has taken us for granted. They believe that, we are just we can't do anything. But we know that one day when the people rise, there's no way the political class will rise. And just to put the record straight, protests have always been peaceful in this country. It's only the people in power that always try to infiltrate protests. Take Essex for example. It was largely peaceful until the government sent its stops, sent its soldiers, sent its policemen, and then everything turned to a riot.
But for the NSAS protest, there was a mandate for the protesters to vacate that particular venue. Because, of course, all the things they demanded for government had done that. They had abolished the SARS, and they were asking them, go home, go home, go home. So don't you think it's because of the adamant nature of the protesters that was the reason why government had to move in?
You know, at a point, the protests snowballed from NSAS movement to good governance. Because even Barr regime was not as it was as bad, just that Tinubu make it worse. So it's only when you have good government. In fact, as of today, the police are still involved in brutality. There's a lot of intervention that take it back movement have get involved in. Every week, every day, we always see of police brutality. And take government has always gone to the police station to rescue some of these individuals. So, and we are tired of doing this. So, that's why we need a total change of the system, whereby the people will be able to free, to live in their own land. We don't be going to the police station every time to be rescue people that are unjustly incarcerated or unjustly brutalized. So, once we have a total change of the system, we don't need a situation whereby police will just come and brutalize you anyhow, and then we need a system whereby the people will be free to express themselves. And then I want to tell you that hunger is the driving force for revolution in the country. Take on the Arab Spring in 2011. It was hunger that triggered the Arab Spring. So if the government sit down and feel that they can just cajole us, or they can just make any form of move to stop the protest, it's a lie. So the only way they can stop this protest is to assist to our demand. How do our demand? Bring back fuel subsidy. And if you feel that the fuel subsidy is feed the leaders. They're tapping it.
All right.
Thank
Yes.
you. Okay, let me go back to University of Philly. Now, looking at the current thing that is happening, the protests to stop protests, and should I say using Nigerians against Nigerians at this point. And you've actually stated that August 1st is far for the protests to kick off. Do we still look forward to a peaceful protest, or should we look forward to a fruitful protest? Let me put it that way. A fruitful protest that would actually get to attract the government and allow them hear the citizens and listen to their demands.
Well, the protest in Nigeria has always been peaceful. Okay? And I was involved in the protest, the NSAS protest, fully involved. I was part of the legal that went around representing those who were, arrested during the protests and all that. And when I pulled out from the Lekki toll gate, I came down to Ikeja. I also joined the Ikeja. But you know that it is government that introduced violence to protests. They are the ones who brought hoodlums in SUV vehicles, gave them VIP treatment and unleashed them, and then turn around the next day to say that it was hijacked. It was never hijacked. So it's a government that is shameless. A government that will go encourage people who have taken up to, who are hoodlums, who need a reformation, okay, who are supposed to be reformed to become law-abiding citizens of the country. Those are the people you go to consult and use them for dirty jobs. During an election too, they go consult them instead of reforming them and integrating them into society so that they can become useful to their communities and their families. You go encourage them to keep at that miscreant behavior that they have already exercised, and then you empower them to go do more damage to society. So that is what our governments, this is what they do. So it's going to be peaceful, the protest, as long as government does not introduce violence to it. And they should know that they are being monitored. Because the government don't even know that the youths of today are not at their level. When you brought them with SUV, this Gen Zs, they have drones everywhere, picking what government or everything, all government action. They have it. All the videos, everything. And they show it to the public, see what your government is doing. So I hope that they will come to that point where they will realize that they are old and they are outdated. They are dinosaurs. What the youths of this country can do, this government have no capacity to do it. They have no capacity to even understand the social dynamics of what the youths are capable of. Just come out from first and you will see, during the protest, you will see the gadgets that this youth will come out with. You understand? You will see the gadgets they will come out with. And do you know that during the NSAS protest, while the soldiers opened fire at citizens, there was direct evidence. Somebody went live on Instagram, yes, showing soldiers shooting. How will you deal with those kind of youths that are thinking 200 times ahead of you? How will you deal with them? Even if they come to introduce violence in this one or do whatever it is, you will see how the youth will pick every action of government. It was because I was at the tribunal. It was that evidence, that circumstantial evidence, direct evidence where that lady went live, that was actually used to nail that case. And it became clear. And even a panel set up by the Lagos State government indicted the state government because the evidence are too much for you to take your eyes away from it. So that's exactly what is going to happen. So if they think that they can shut down the people, they can do all, it's not going to work. And you talk about the barring of phone lines and all that. Nobody can bar my phone line.
Nobody
I dare
can
them, nobody can do it. You know why?
Tell me.
When we sign up for this SIM card, when I signed up for that, is myself, there was no NIN. So it was not part of the contract that I signed with initially. NIN came by the way. It became a policy. Okay. So if you bar my line, it's a breach of contract. It is my obligation to link my line, which is a policy that came afterwards. But in the event that I linked the line or I was unable to do it, then you come bar my line, I'll go to court. It's a breach of contract. You can't enforce that against those who had signed up before the policy. You can't. You can only take that policy and enforce it against those who registered their line or who came on board after the policy had been introduced. It's wrong. Not everybody that you bound to that agreement. Okay? So, and the insensitivity, okay, the NCC had to give an order because at one of the network provider in Sulere, see, that is why, see, don't ever take any decision that will make people to gather against you. Did you see that video?
Exactly, the viral video.
The crowd just rested on the fence and the whole thing caved in. They just rested on the fence, the whole thing caved in. And if they had allowed them to move in, that building would cave down. Because the people were much, the energy is heavy. Don't take decision impulsively.
So, like I did ask,
that is the same decision that the president took. This kind of decision,
and
senseless decision.
Do you think it's politically motivated, especially coming at this time?
We have no evidence at hand that is politically motivated. I like to think in the line of proof.
Okay,
that's my training. Until I'm able to see the nexus and the evidence thereof that these people took the decision because they want to. And who even how is it possible that barring people's line will stop them from protests? Because sometimes the senselessness of people, it will not. There are other means to connect to the internet. There are other means to, get information. Nigerians were protesting even before GSM came. People were protesting before GSM. Just that people lack sense of history and all-round thinking. That will not prevent the protests. Whatever you do cannot assuage hunger. The only thing that can assuage hunger is food. So if you don't have that, you don't have good policy, you don't have anything, you are not governing well. If you like, even pull down the electric poles and put them on the ground. It will not prevent people from protesting. People were protesting before electricity. Protest was one of the first issues that made it to the Bill of Rights the world over. Okay? Before 12 something, before the Magna Carta Act, protest was, you understand, before the first legislation ever written in human history, protest was. Go through your religious rite, go through history, go through everywhere. Once governance, leadership is failing, protest is the next thing. There must be protest. So you shouldn't stop people from protesting. Then they're telling people that it's your right to protest, but don't protest. What does that mean? What does that mean? People will protest, and it is important that they do so peacefully.
Yes. So you spoke so passionately about and against the president's lieutenants and how they are not doing a good enough job, and of course that cannot be said without making mention of the principal himself, who is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So the question is, do you think that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is good enough to be the president of this country?
Well, let me start by saying anyone is good enough to be the president of this country. At the same time, a lot of people are not meant to even, in fact, they cannot even leave their homes. But we find them at the ends of our fingers. Where do we draw the line? The people, all of us, are involved in this mess. He said it when he was talking about voters. These same people will come tomorrow and will come to your doorstep and give you 2,000 naira and you will vote for them. They will give them 500 naira and they will go and chant and heal and kill and they will threaten them and all of them. They kill and still vote for this person. And because the person, they had already what they have done to impoverish everyone. Now they dangle carrot on the stick, and there's carrot, and they impoverish you. They know that you are hungry, so they will put you there so that when they come, you rush for the food they give you. And that is what is happening. Now we're talking about protests. The next thing they're talking about 40,000 rice, and all that. And the question now is, all these things you're bringing, where am I going to find this 40,000 rice? Right. Now, is it 100 kg? Is it 50 kg? Is it 25 kg? Which one is we don't know. Even the one the federal government sent, we people, I don't know if you saw that, they were packaging the rice to sell.
The 20 trucks that was given.
Yes, they were packaging them to sell to people. So we, all of us, and like I tell people, when people, that is why I'm always careful. Anytime they're talking about people are bent, maybe abusing or castigating leaders, I smile. I say, look, whatever that you see there is as a result of who we are. That same person, if you go there, I doubt if you'll be different from that same person when you get to that place and you see how things are. They will pick, you see, even the Bible, it says, among you, I will choose a leader. So whoever that choose among us, it's because when you go out and you see what our people, what we do as a people, you will now say, oh, you truly deserve the leaders you get. Because these people will come tomorrow, they know us. Until when we get to that, I was at a symposium. We were addressing, shortly before the election, we were addressing youth. Youth, the hall was full of youth. And we were talking about voting for the right person and all that. Guess what they were shouting, they were chanting? Anyone that is not giving me money, at least 10,000, if you don't give me, I'm not voting for you. These are people we hope, and these are the people we believe should be better. We have seen youth misbehave. When Bello was made governor, some of us were, well, please do it differently. What did we see? We call him youth as at the time he became governor. So what are we saying? And don't forget, the leaders, the people that have refused to leave the table or leave the seat today, when they started as youths. 20-something, 30-something. They were. But they are still there. Why? Because we are distracted with nothing. We are distracted with unnecessary things. What is important, we leave it undone. And we are, in fact, when they even come to us, instead of us to tell them, hey, enough, please, it's our turn. No. What do you have for us, sir? That is what you get from the same youth.
But would you want to absolve our flawed electoral system in all of this?
Well, we can't rule it out. I'm not going to take out the flaw of the electoral system. But what I'm going to hammer on is us as a people. The system. You know, when we run in this, we don't run institution. We run individual. Because there's no institution. If not, we should not have some people leading us today. If we deal with institutions, if we know this person, some of these leaders have no business coming to power. Emilokon, just if you okay, the other man too that retired, just wanted to be a president. He became a president. He got to a time he got tired. He didn't even care what was happening. He was not even in the loop of what was happening in the country. Oh, they say, in fact, I did disrespect him, and he will say, hey. You mean he did not go? You mean he did not obey me? That is the president. So you got tired. And I mean, so these are the people we're having. Not people with intention. No one is intentional. If we do,
it should actually be on record that after this protest, the next protest should be the End Bad Citizen protest.
So citizens against citizens.
Yes, because I mean, what he's saying is quite. You hear people sometimes, you begin to wonder why, how. Okay, in fact, the kind of leadership we have today is a byproduct of that character. If you don't give me, I will not vote. If you don't, so what we have produced so far is what we have channeled our energies to. We channel our energies to corruption. Now, the fruit of corruption have come to show us that corruption begets corruption.
But even if the system weaponizes the environment, so wouldn't that?
Yeah, it weaponizes the environment because the people allow it. When people are indolent, when people are self-serving, let me tell you, the average Nigerian citizen is as greedy as their politician.
Yeah,
he wants to take it all alone too, just like the politicians. So the citizens must define the way. Because the truth is that if you are telling the leaders what they should be doing, you should be ahead of them in character and learning. But if you are not ahead of them in character and learning, what exactly are you asking them to do? Don't get it wrong. This protest is survival protest. Because if Nigeria won't get better in the long run, there's a big assignment in the future. And that is the assignment of citizens reformation.
Thank you, Barr. Okay, now let's get your parting shots.
Yes, especially I would love you to give your parting shot, especially with your account with UBA that's still frozen. Has that been dealt with? Number one, then what are you doing to ensure that this remains very peaceful?
Our account is still frozen by UBA on the discussion of the Nigerian government. So our lawyer is working on it to make sure that they unfreeze it because it's a beggar and it's just if you are no man in a democracy where anybody can just arbitrarily freeze an association account. So that is too bad of the government. So it's not only going to it's going to bring the needed revolution that is needed. And then I can assure it's going to be largely peaceful because I think it is the propaganda of the government for them to be spreading that there will be destruction of property, there will be killing. So if they stay out of this protest, the function of the police, of the government, is to protest the protesters. And then, if they need to set thoughts, if they need to ask the police to be aggressive for the protesters, then there'll be no choice for the people to defend themselves. Because we can't just say that we want to have any protester and then they'll be looking. So the citizens have to protect themselves. So my appeal to the government is to make sure that this protest is peaceful, and then the protesters should be protected from any form of aggression, any form of outside aggression on the protesters.
Right. At this time, the center is no longer holding. If you were part of the lieutenants of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, especially if you were a media handler, what would be your next step?
Yeah, my step will be to appeal to the people. The other time, NLC, they were fighting and they were protesting, for minimum wage. And we have minimum wage today, was signed yesterday, 70,000 naira. That is not a living wage. What some of us were telling NLC, and that was a long time, demonstrate and fight for cost of living.
That's removal of subsidy.
When we say cost of living, it's beyond removal of subsidy. What key is there? There's no food. There's food scarcity. Food security is zero. So it's not just, we are talking about subsidy. It's not just subsidy. We are talking about cost of living. No matter what you earn today, if you have 10 million today, by tomorrow, maybe your money is 8 million. It has depreciated. Now, you cannot go to the market. If you go to market today, by the time you are going to the market tomorrow, what you bought 10,000 today, maybe it's 25,000 tomorrow. And someone is still earning that 70,000 naira. Is the children going to go to school? He's going to buy school uniform. He's going to pay school fees. He's going to take himself transport. And you're telling me there shouldn't be corruption? And this same man is a civil servant. And how much is he earning? 70 is going to take care of his family. He's going to eat. He's going to dress and all that. And you tell me this. And we are talking about you're fighting for that 70,000? No! Cost of living. Good governance will bring that to place. That is what I am asking. So if I'm in such position, it's to look, guys, let's talk. We're in together. Should be our focus. And let's get results. Because that is when I said, well, we have leaders that don't have this. And I don't know, no vision. They don't even know. They are fighting for crumbs. And no one is talking about the main deal. And that is why we are here. So the protest should go on, but I want it peaceful. If they can give me that, I will celebrate. I'm still a youth. I'll celebrate people. But that is all I want. They should do whatever in their power to strategize well as to guide against infiltration by enemies. Thank you.
Mr. Ufeli, especially in your end note, we love you to give maybe your professional advice, especially as regards to the frozen account of the Take It Back movement, while you give your parting shot.
Well, as it stands now, the truth is that there's nothing the government will do between now and first that will stop the protest. There must be protest on the first. Even if government solve all the problem between now and first, we must protest for the suffering that was suffered. We have to protest for that. So we have to do that. It's a very important and peacefully so. Okay, as regards the accounts, he said their lawyers working on it, okay. But it is important that the government must understand that it's an association. And that association is registered under the law. That is why they were even able to open an account, okay. And the association have freedom to own properties. In an account is a property of property under the law. I hope you know that. You have freedom to own property anywhere in the country. You have freedom to sign up to social interventions like this, to engage in the society, with the economy. With opening an account is engaging with the economy. Okay, no matter how you look at it, they are all citizens of this country, who are entitled to rights and privileges. They have a right to have an account, and they have all the privileges that apply to even those in government. Okay, they have same privilege. But if people have protested in the past and then you label them black sheep of the country, and you freeze their account and do all that, it means that the government is intolerant. It's not able to manage her citizens. Even people who commit crime, they commit offense, okay, when they are freed, or when they serve their time, or when they go through the process they have to go through, they are integrated in society. That's what those are. This one is not even an offense. This one is a peaceful protest they organized, that the military came and introduced violence to it. So the people who are supposed to be serving punishment are the military men and those who commanded them to come and do what it. And the governor of Lagos State, current governor of Lagos State, that is a culprit in all this, because he was the one that spearheaded. Yes, he was. No, not allegedly. He called the military. The military said it at the tribunal. You were not at the tribunal. No, that is why. The military said it at the tribunal. That was the governor of Lagos State that called them. So it's not alleged, because he went on CNN to say that he didn't invite the military when he was asked by Christian Amampo. Yeah. Okay. So he said he didn't call. Then the next day, when the military came to the tribunal to answer to questions, they said the governor called them. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So it's not alleged. It's clear evidence. We have it on record. We have it everywhere. So let the protest continue. It has started already. So let it continue. But it should be peaceful. There should be no looting. There should be no breakdown of law and order. If we have the protest, sustain it for the 10 days, and we'll have something meaningful. The government will, in addition to these things, this rise that are bring that you are not seeing, and all this, in addition to those things, you see that the government will concede considerably and ostensibly to make, because if the money they used to buy that jet, the yacht, the
25 billion for the vice president.
Yes, for the vice president, the House, and the National Assembly, all those funds they spend. If you put all those funds together and assign it to cater for the people, there will be no need for protests. But now you did not do that. The people are stranded. Then what you are doing through the back door is to go gather some youths in Lagos State and giving them some money and say, don't join protests. And they will come out and say, not join protests. We are not heading anywhere, because we are addressing the issue from the top, not the roots. Go to the roots. and address the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary goal of government. That's the constitution.
And sorry, please, and we should not let this protest also stop others that don't believe in the protest from exercising their right. We should not infringe on their own right also. So the protest probably should have a place, this is the area, that is the area, so that they are not everywhere and stop. Thank you.
Okay.
So,
very true. Internationally, they called it a wave of African Gen Z spring. Started from Kenya to Uganda. And now they're saying that Nigerians will be the best of them all. But I just hope it becomes the best of them all, but of course, the most peaceful of them all. We've had Gaza Israeli issue, and we have people protest in Washington and all other places, which means a protest is good enough, but of course, it should be peaceful. Very true. All right, so I'd love to say thank you to Adeyemi for being part of our show today. Thank you for taking back movement, Barrister Olanka. Thank you so very much for giving us your time. And as always, Barrister Ufeli, thank you.
Pleasure.
Always for being part of our time. Also, Joma, thank you.
Harry, thank you so much.
For being great, yeah. All right, but most importantly, we'd love to say thank you to you for always finding time to come and be part of our program when we do call. We love you too. Please do visit our website also at www.enterprisetvnews.com for more information, and also like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. I am Henry Igwirike.
And I'm Choma.
On behalf of the entire team of Enterprise Television, I'd love to say thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Enterprise TV